What's going on, guys? My name is Liam, and you're watching Behind the Design with ANL Media.
Silky Beat.
Hey everyone, this is Renee with ANL Media. We are here with another episode of Behind the Design with Liam. How are you?
What's good? I'm well. How are you?
Doing well. Okay, great. I need to start that over again, Jeremy. I'm sorry.
No, I took it down because it started trying to wrap around me.
Oh, really?
It'll be all right.
Okay, we just gonna talk, bro. Like, I can't do
And then
the whole...
I guess let's just go talk and then do the intro like at the very end once we kind of like have gotten comfortable.
Gotcha.
Maybe that'll help us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
So we can just start with questions? Okay. Thank you. Praise God. Okay. Okay, so I know like the last time like you were here and we were like in the editing session that you were talking about moving to Dallas as far as like, you know, just I guess trying to bring your music here and trying to like, I guess get into some different circles. What was it that made you just go ahead and be like, okay, like let me go ahead and make that move?
Well, during that time, I had been driving down here from Houston quite often, working on my album and just trying to do music. A friend of mine, Mr. Dimension, he's a producer from London, actually. He moved from London to Dallas probably like over 2 years ago now.
Okay.
And I had been driving down here just working with him, and I figured it'd be just easier to just be here.
Yeah.
But I hadn't really thought thoroughly about it or had a plan or anything. It was just talk. And I just remember kind of like, it was just a transitional season of my life.
Yeah.
And there was a lot going on, I had some family issues, and I remember driving down here one Friday to do some recording. And a friend of mine hit me up that Sunday, that same weekend, saying that this OCBF was hiring graphic designers.
Okay.
And so I applied for the job and got it, and ever since then I've been here.
You've been here.
Yeah.
Okay. Was your family, because I know you said you were having family problems, was your family like supportive of the move? How have they been since you've been here?
I guess so. They had to be supportive with what was going on, but it was more just kind of like I'm doing my own thing, and it really wasn't so much of a say of anybody else. I think if anything, they miss me at this point, but at the same time, they're proud that, you know, I'm making transitions and just doing different things and working on music, so it's all good either way.
So, so I know when I had met you, you had management. Now, are you considering yourself to be independent, or, you know, and I guess to follow up with that as well, you know, since your fan base is growing and stuff like that, have people reached out to manage you, and like what's your whole mindset when it comes to being managed?
I think as far as independency is concerned, I think for me, my mindset is like no labels kind of thing.
Okay.
Until like, I guess it's a really good situation, but even then I'm probably still kind of weary or eerie of the industry. Right. As far as management, that person is no longer, we're no longer working together. And yes, since then someone has approached me, since my album came out, actually, like after my album came out, someone else approached me, and we're kind of like in an interim phase, working together, trying to see what's best for myself as well as that person is concerned. And I don't know, because I'm extremely independent, like I do graphic design, so everything that you see from me
is all yours.
Like,
and that is something I was gonna ask you, like, because I went down your Instagram page and I was like, wow, like the way it was set up, I guess, you know, with your album, and it was like, it was pretty lengthy. It almost looked like, I guess, like a press release, but on Instagram. Yeah. It was like,
I guess that's what's been hard for me, because I'm so independent, because I literally do everything myself. It's like you kind of have to figure out when is it necessary to have management. And I think I finally kind of like met that place where I can't respond to every email. I can't send every press release to every blog or, you know, all that. So looking to have somebody to help me, assist me in that, so I can stay on course and stay on a pattern is definitely necessary at this point.
Is it hard for you to like release control as far as like management, and then also I guess too, is it I guess when you get into, since you are a graphic designer, and of course you're also an artist, is it hard for you to release control when it comes to your visuals and management? And I know that's kind of a...
Management at first, yes, just from my past experience, yes, at first mentally it was kind of hard, but I think because I know myself well enough and the person that I'm currently working with, he knows kind of like what he wants to handle. So it's more of like he really handles the business and I have creative control. As long as I have that, I'm completely cool. If somebody wants to assist in making sure that my business stuff is done, I'm completely cool with that because that's what I need. You know? So it frees me up to be more creative. As far as collaborating with other people, so visually, even musically, like I love collaborating with people as long as the collaboration is sincere and the vibe is authentic and the connection is authentic and genuine. Yes, that's really important to me because I feel like sometimes people kind of like approach you, not that
they have different motives.
Not ulterior motives, because I feel like we all want to connect with other people to gain exposure or to gain growth or to become better. And so I get that, but when you don't really care about me as a person, not that I expect people to be my friend, but just really have some kind of like, bring something to the table and just be real, be authentic. If you want to just use me, say that. Don't be like,
just be real with me. I feel you.
Don't beat around the bushes. Just be who you are. And I can feel that. And if it works, then it works. If it doesn't, then it doesn't.
I feel you. I feel you. So I guess one of my questions is, how is the Dallas music scene compared to the Houston music scene? Because we always like hear things, but I know you are actually from Houston, so how is...
A lot of people ask about Houston in general. Like, I used to live in Atlanta as well, so it's a big difference as far as Atlanta's concerned. But Houston has a lot of amazing talent. I just don't think that a lot of people know exactly what direction or where to get help or how to get things done. So that's probably their biggest downfall. When you come to Dallas, everybody is unafraid and they're moving and doing and executing. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's more about the biggest difference is execution.
Execution here.
Execution as in actually getting it done, as also with the quality of getting it done too.
So would you say that Dallas has a better framework or a better infrastructure for you to blossom here compared to Houston?
Probably. Considering the artists that have come from those prospective cities and then the artists that are still here. So like, prime example, we were talking about Erykah Badu earlier, she's still here. You know what I'm saying? So it still kind of brings that vibe to the city, and to my understanding, like we were talking about earlier as well, a lot of people are moving here because it's becoming a hub. A lot of musicians, Snarky Puppy comes out of here. So it's like a lot of musicians, this is their home as well. So, you know, it's a lot of people to just come here and gain more opportunities. She almost fell off that skateboard. I'm so sorry.
Oh, damn. Okay, so also, what was I gonna ask? So, with that in mind, like, you know, you saying that a lot of people are coming here, so was that kind of your mindset as well to launch your musical career? Like, well, I mean, to further launch it, because of course you've been doing this for a minute.
Launch it? No, and that's the thing, my mindset has always been, so my reasoning, honestly, for moving here was when I felt it on my heart to move. And then two, the collaboration between me and my producer, or my friend, I don't like to call him mine, but my friend, the guy who produced my album, Mr. Dimension, because he moved here, it just seemed right.
He was from Houston as well.
Well, he's originally from London. He moved, he moved from London to Dallas.
Wow.
And so I had been driving down from Houston just to work with him, and it just made more sense if I really wanted to be productive and get stuff done, because my main priority originally,
you gotta be with your producer.
My main priority originally was to just get music done back to back, back to back. I need to stay in the studio. I need to be writing, even if it's not just music for me, just getting placements, other places, just collaborating and creating musically, because I wasn't doing that in Houston like I needed to be.
I feel you.
So I did that. So it wasn't like I was going to come to the city and then just blossom because it's Dallas. Because my whole mindset, even when I was living in Atlanta, but my main goal was to be an artist that was traveling. I didn't want to be stuck in one city. So regardless of where I am, my main goal ultimately is to always be spreading across the world. Like that should be you'll always be your main goal.
Yeah, I feel you. And I think that's kind of one of my things.
Oh, Lord.
As soon as I pause, I'm stuck under the chair.
It's just the wind, like I don't know how.
I'm gonna offset it just a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense. That way.
Yeah. All right.
I don't even know what I was saying. But so do you feel like since you've been here, do you feel like Dallas has like accepted you?
Honestly,
how do you feel like, you know,
to be completely transparent, I haven't really been in the city like that. I've been working. Like have been focused on doing the album. Once the album came out, I've literally been trying to do follow-up work. So getting visuals done, trying to figure out shows. So I have a show this month on the 30th, and I honestly don't know what to expect. Because I remember I was featured in the show, probably like that first week I moved to Dallas, I was featured in the show. And you know, my online presence is one thing, but you just never know how it is physically. And so I've seen some, like, so within that instance, when I did that show, I didn't get a heavy response, I don't think. Well, from what I knew, because sometimes people speak on, you know, if they were there or not. Some people just come, say hi later, like on Twitter or Instagram or something like that. But I remember I did that show and I was like, okay, so maybe people don't really know about me here. And then I was at a random, like, it was like a school, like a hair school, had like a show, and I was supporting a friend. And it was after the show, and this girl literally ran up to me and was like, oh my God, you're Brick. And I'm like, what? Like what? So you just never really know. And I try not to think about it, but I have a show on the 30th and I don't know what to expect. I'm hoping for the better. But at the same time, my mindset is kind of like, regardless of who's there, my main goal is to consistently grow. To consistently build on the support that I have. So either way, I sing my song for 2 as I would for 1 million people, you know?
Gotcha. So speaking about your album, where was the, I guess the inspiration derived from?
A majority of it was about lessons I learned from the closing or not the closing of a relationship, a romantic relationship. And how that takes a toll on people, on your mental and emotional well-being, and just really wanted to low-key vent about it. That's all I'm doing on the album is venting, and just wanted to push myself creatively, musically, and that's all it's literally about.
What should people that haven't heard it, I guess, sound-wise, I mean, like what should they expect? Are there, you know, different, you know, samples, or like, you know, what type of sound are you pushing? So
with this album, originally I didn't want to call it an album because I felt like it didn't really serve as an album, but after releasing it and seeing the response, I think it really is an album because of how intentional I was. So creatively, of course, it's my best work thus far because I've grown so much. But as far as samples are concerned, I sampled myself throughout the whole album. Like every song is like a sample from the previous song, so it's all connected, so it tells one complete story. And I thought that was very important because the way that people process music nowadays, because you can literally put something on the internet, on SoundCloud, on iTunes, like literally it's a song and it gets old the next day.
Exactly,
you know? So I wanted to do a complete project to make people sit and listen, because a lot of people say, oh, well, people don't listen to albums anymore, so do an EP or do a single. I don't believe that.
I disagree with that as well.
I don't believe that. I feel like you have to give people something and either they respect it or they don't. You know what I'm saying? And most times they're gonna respect it. You know what I'm saying? You build and the people will come. You know what I'm saying? So
especially if it's quality, to me, I feel like that's what people are looking for.
So I wanted to be very intentional about that. In my music, I always try to be musical because I feel like, again, a lot of people say, well, the world doesn't want musicality, or they don't want complex ideas or good writing. But at the same time, again, you give the people that, they're gonna take it.
I want to be able what you give
I want to grow people's ear as far as lyrics are concerned, as far as music is concerned. So I just want to, be myself completely, and then teach people. You teach people. That's always been my main goal when it comes to my music.
Gotcha. So would you say that in the current climate of how the music industry is going, do you think artistry is lost? Do you think it's coming back?
Not. I don't think it's ever been lost, though. I feel like it's just a lot of people talking and don't know. A lot of people talking and don't know. As an artist as well as a music lover, it's always been there. It's just about where you look and what's popular at the moment. But especially right now when everybody can be independent and be massively independent, there's no limits. Which
what's his name? Chance the Rapper. I guess he kind of opened up that door, like, you know.
Not just him, but so many different people, like, a lot of my peers, honestly, like, they may not have the biggest, like, they may not have a big following like Chance, of course, but they're still doing major things as independent artists, and it just shows you that you can authentically, I don't have to walk into a label and them try to change me or to tell me I need to do this or whatever the case may be. I can authentically be myself, connect with people, they get it, support it, and I can continue to do it.
Because you can give it straight to the people. You don't really need the label.
I don't have to filter through them listening to my album to tell me, oh, this needs to be the single. No, I know what feels right in my heart.
Exactly.
And it could work or it could not work, but at the same time, that doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because it's my art. Yeah, I feel you.
Art is so subjective and people forget that.
Yeah.
People forget that a lot.
Yeah, I feel you. Ooh, excuse me. So do you think, kind of going back to visuals, do you think visuals will hold the same importance, I guess, as the production? You know what I'm saying? Because you know how Kendrick Lamar came out with, you know, I guess all of those great visuals that he released for, I guess, you know, To Pimp a Butterfly and whatnot. Do you see, I mean, I guess do you hold the same importance for visuals? You know, in I guess coming in line with your music, like do you feel like the visuals are going to help tell your story that you're trying to tell in the music? Like do you hold? And I know I'm rambling, but
no, absolutely. I think one, because I'm a graphic designer and I'm a visual person.
Yeah.
So even when I write, I see it, and I try to, as much as possible, be descriptive in my writing enough that people can see it.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great importance, and I like the fact that as time has gone by, that it's kind of reversing. Like at one point in time, like nobody was doing anything like visually creative. Like I was with my friends last night and we were literally going through all of Missy Elliott's videos and how each video was super creative, but they were all different from each other. Like you didn't see anything repeated from Missy Elliott, except like maybe she would put her face on somebody else's body, but it was all still consistently inconsistent.
Yeah.
It's still very creative. Every time she just gets better and better.
Right.
And at one point in time, those kind of visuals kind of like disappeared from
turned
the
into
world.
Like trap videography, I guess.
Well,
is what I describe it as.
And nothing against them either, because you know, again, that's like
creative,
right. That's still like people calling music real music. Like all music is real. Like there's no such thing as fake music. But of course, everybody has their likings. There's things that are more creative than the average thing that's going on. So I feel like more people are putting more energy, and I think what's crazier is that a lot of independent artists are putting more into those visuals. But you would think that because they're indie, they don't have the means, and that's why I think it's so important that people are able to connect on the internet and just different things, because there's people wanting to build teams. Like I watch a lot of like SZA's like interviews and the way her team was built on people just kind of like being very supportive, and it's starting there, and you build this thing. Same thing. So like watching like SZA's interviews and how her team was like built on people just being supportive and they're friends, and then people just growing like together. I think that's really important, which is the same thing with my music as well. I felt like it was important that I get with somebody else that just wanted to grow and just wanted to build and see what that looked like. Because I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
I just want to do better. You want to do better? Let's do better together and see what comes out of that.
I feel you.
Wow.
So, you seem to be really introspective to me as an artist, and especially, you know, you talk about your albums actually like you venting.
Yeah.
How does that play into your overall art? Like when you come into, like, say when you're going in and you're about to start on an album, how do you use your how do you transfer?
I'm big on authenticity, and so my belief is that I need to be felt before I'm heard.
Okay.
Because ultimately music is more about a feeling than a sound. People are going to remember the feeling more than they remember the music. We could, you know, so many people like forget lyrics and butcher lyrics, but they'll never forget how that song made them feel, and they're still going to sing it just as passionately with the wrong lyrics. They don't have the full understanding of the song, but they're still singing it and connected to it because of the feeling.
Right.
So it takes me being completely transparent and vulnerable, which in real life I'm not completely vulnerable. Like I'm not a big people person.
Yeah.
Like I can have a personality in certain settings,
yeah,
but I'm not big on like big groups of people and going to hella parties. And I may go to a concert, but I'll be the guy standing all the way in the back enjoying myself by myself.
Right.
But it makes me be completely vulnerable, transparent, and I think because I'm doing that, it automatically connects with other people who need that, because we all technically need that. I'm telling someone else's story by telling my story.
Right.
But that takes me being vulnerable and transparent.
Yeah, which I feel like, I guess now, and that's kind of something that I've seen, and I know Gary Vee, I don't know if you follow him,
Yeah.
but I know that he kind of preaches that.
He's amazing, man.
Yeah, just being yourself, being genuine, and that's what's really going to drive people to you.
And I think it's a hard lesson to teach at this time with this climate because of social media, because
everybody's
even myself, like every now and then,
yeah.
I'll be scrolling and be like, oh, this person got such and such likes. Or this many views on their video. Like when they started putting the views on Instagram videos, I said they're really, really trying to really push people over the edge. And so then I'm having to like rethink, okay, well, when I posted this video, why did this video get all of these likes, and why didn't this one get the same thing? And you're trying to like break it down and trying to figure out how that works, but it's so unnecessary. It's just more about creating, and if it's accepted, it's accepted. Like
people
you just have to give.
Yeah,
you just have to give, just continue to give and not be afraid to be wrong or for it to be whack at one point in time. Because nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect, and you gotta want to consistently grow. Like Beyonce, who she is now, was not who she was in '99. 99, Beyonce was still good, but nowhere close to where she is now. And I think that's important to not. We all think so far ahead. Instead of living in the moment and just giving all that we possibly can to get to that moment in the future. Because if you don't give all of yourself in that moment, you'll be overthinking things, and you may not just take that step forward. Because if you don't take that step forward, you will make the next step or the next step or the next step to get to who you are 10 years from now. Yeah, you can't get there if you don't put it out there. You know, because you gotta get plant the seed.
That feedback. So you can be like, okay, well this didn't work, or they weren't feeling this, or but either way, you still gotta stay true to yourself.
I think of it like
to the art that you feel and that's coming out of you.
I think of it like a garden. You have to plant the seed for it to grow, but it also takes maintenance throughout the year. So if I'm planting a tree in my garden, it's gonna take, like when it's little or whatever, it's gonna take me plucking out weeds to make sure that it can grow well. You know what I'm saying? It takes all these different things, the sun, the water, like it takes many different parts to make sure that it grows to a healthy tree.
Gotcha. So I guess for you, then you're not focused really on the whole, I guess, social media and the cloud, and like, I mean, because I know you have a pretty big following on your Instagram. How does that doesn't really play into, you know, how you release things, or like, you know, or
being transparent it's an everyday struggle. I think that's for any artist, because we want to make sure that we're doing something right, or that we're being liked. Like I do it for my well-being, but I don't do it just for me to listen to it. I want other people to hear it. I want to grow. This is my dream.
People to accept it, and
then also when you gain certain amounts of success or certain things have happened, like my album debuted like in the top 10 on the top 10 R&B charts. And so with that, I'm thinking like, okay, so maybe something is happening, but then if somebody like 20 people like a post, I'm like, wait, so what's really going on? You know what I'm saying? So it does play with your mind.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard to see, because I know even with me and my following, it's hard to see, okay, are people really connecting with it? You know, are they connecting with me? Are they connecting with this idea of me? Or are they connecting with the art? Like, because I know I'll post like my art and it won't get any type of, you know, like but then post a picture and it's crazy.
And so it's like you're now in this limbo of trying to figure out what is the formula. Everybody's out here trying to figure out what is the formula, when it's really more about just creating. I was having a conversation with my friend, the producer, Mr. Dimension, I was telling you about. And when he was in London, him and his fiance, now wife, they were out at this restaurant, and Frank Ocean happened to be in that same restaurant. And he said Frank Ocean stopped by they stopped Frank Ocean, and then Frank Ocean like later came by their table to just sit and have a talk with them. And Frank was talking about how he was worried about releasing or the success of Channel Orange, because of course he had all that following and stuff from the Subject Ultra, but once he did that coming out letter, he didn't know if people were supporting him because of the coming out letter or because the music was actually good. So to know somebody like that actually goes through all of that in their mind, it just lets you know that, like I did a song called Dream, and it was inspired by the song Cream, like Wu-Tang and all that, and they just rule everything around me. And so it just reminds us that kind of like this whole numbers game is a big matrix. Like
it is.
It doesn't make you who you are. Like who you are is who you are, and that's all that really matters. Of course, it's an everyday struggle for all of us. But the reality of it, because social media is not reality. What happens if Instagram crashes tomorrow and nobody can use it? My following but my music is still there. You know what I'm saying? Like, focus on what matters. Focus on what is going to last, and I want to make music that lasts and not focus on how many people are hearing it. I guess. Because a song that I do now, it can be like 10 listens on like YouTube right now, but say years from now, it pops back up like a producer samples it. Oh, what's that song? And then it becomes this big thing. You know, you just never really know. Or a song I did on my album could be like the song that the least people listen to, and then Beyonce hears it and she want to record it. Hey, I want to record your song. Right. Then it becomes this big thing. You just really never know. Just do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. And everything will just align itself. I got you. All right, let me see. So, I guess this is something that I had a question about. So you consider yourself an R&B artist? Because I know some artists are like, they don't want to have a title or something like that.
I'm very much like that. And if listening to my album, you'll hear there's different sounds. Like of course it's a heavy R&B influence, but this is actually probably the most R&B I've ever been, because my last projects were kind of more of like soulful, like neo soul type of feel. But this album is like R&B, but then there's like folk songs in there. Like I like all types of music, so I try to execute that. Okay. Sorry. I try to execute that within the album, because I don't want to be boxed in, but because you have to put a title on it, people have to know what they're getting themselves into, kind of. Yeah. It's R&B, but at the same time, which goes to what I was speaking about earlier, I want to educate people. So you're listening to an R&B album, but there's going to be different elements of different stuff that you're going to hear for the first time, and it may inspire you to want to hear more of it.
To hear more. Okay.
So again, present it to the people, build it, and they'll come.
Okay, so given the fact that you are an R&B artist, let's just, so you're an R&B artist, how do you go about navigating this, the current climate right now in the music industry? Because, mumble rap is really, I guess, I need to stop saying mumble rap, but that's what they call it. Mumble rap or like hip hop. How do you go about navigating that? Because I know K. Michelle on Everyday Struggle was talking about how she's an R&B artist and she's at Atlantic, and they've been kind of pushed to the back, like her, Trey Songz, Seven. How do you get your music out there? Because,
Which is why I'm so big on independence. Because I can't fault a label for wanting to invest in the people that they know are going to have a quick return. Right. They're definitely going to put more money into a Taylor Swift before a K. Michelle, and that's just the reality of it, which is, again, which is why I'm so big on independence. But, I mean, that goes to like the whole formula thing on trying to figure out how to engage people. You just really have to stay focused on yourself and not think of the end. Just think of now. Think of now. Give people all that you have, and they're gonna receive it. I don't know what my music career is gonna look like 10 years from now. I have hopes, and I want to work towards that. Right. And I'm going to work towards that, but I don't want to be like one of those people, because I've seen a lot of people who have done music for a long time, and because they refuse to like change with the times or whatever the case may be, they're kind of bitter and they're stuck in their place, And I don't want to be one of those people, so I'd rather just live in the moment.
Focus on the people.
Focus on the people that are there, because those are the people that matter.
Right. Gotcha. I think I had one other question. Let me see. I think I asked everything that I wanted to know. Oh, my biggest thing. What does the balloon symbolize? Oh. Because I don't think I've ever asked you this question.
Yeah, so it's simply a reminder to let go.
To let go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember like when we actually, and you had to let it go and it went flying.
Yeah, it's simply a reminder to let go.
Okay.
And sometimes too, because depending on how many balloons that you have, you can float away with it too. So just kind of trying to figure out in your life and in whatever situation you're going through, what do you need to do? Do I need to let go or do I need to hold on? And then do it.
Gotcha.
Just do it. And the freedom and all of that, and the healing and all of that. And that's what I'm just trying to present.
Okay.
Solutions.
So that's kind of like your staple like sign, or just
I used
how people identify you as.
Yeah, and I've seen it with a lot of other people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I feel like you're the only one I've seen with the the balloon concept.
I've seen other people use it. It's like two rappers. It was a guy. It's a guy in London. He recently released the album, and it was like that. I think for me, that's more of like something I use consistently. I think that was like his album packaging, but I've seen it consistently. But it ain't mine. Like I didn't create balloons, but I know why I use it, And I just want to continue to present that. That's all.
Okay. And another question too. How did you get connected with your producer in London? I don't know why I didn't ask this, but that's like really interesting.
Right. So,
all the way from Houston to London, like.
And this also goes to, I guess, the whole what we were talking about earlier, as far as like meeting people authentically and letting it, if it works, then it works.
Yeah.
So I met him over the internet. It wasn't because of a big following. I had released like a project or whatever of music, and he had heard a song that I have called "Beautiful," and he was like trying to present it to his girlfriend at the time, now wife. He presented it to her, and he reached out to me like, "Hey, like I support your music. I'm also an artist." He's also an artist as well. And he was like, "I want you to be on this remix." And I think that initially his vibe was, because as an artist, you meet so many different people like, hey, we need to work. And the next time you see them, oh, we need to work.
Yeah.
You don't want to work with me, and it's completely cool.
Right.
But I'm not pressed about it. But he reached out to me like, hey, I want you to do this remix on one of my songs. I heard the song. I was like, yeah, definitely dope. Because he's actually an amazing songwriter as well, not just a producer. Like, he's actually extremely humble. He dances, like he does a lot of different things. And I did the remix for the song. And ever since then, like, we were like, cool. And then he moved here. And I remember I was struggling like getting the album done because I had like a lot of stuff like in the very beginning stages of production.
Yeah.
And I remember coming here to literally just record songs with him. And me, him and another one of our friends, we were like just like singing in the living room, and he was playing keys. And I was like, wait, like you play. Like, I knew he produced, but you know, some people they just have different ways of producing.
Right.
But he literally played. Like,
wow.
He says that he doesn't. Like, he's originally like a drummer.
Yeah.
But he plays keys well enough that he could perform with you.
Wow.
He won't tell you that, but he can. And I remember being like, yo, can you just see what you can add to these like songs?
Right.
We get in originally to record. He starts adding stuff to the songs. I'm just like, this sounds like a completely different song.
Yeah.
So since then, it was history. Like, it's just like, wow, like. And it changed, it helped me form a different sound for myself, because like before I said, I was doing more like neo soul, and now it actually made me do R&B, because I couldn't find records that I really, really love to write to, or the original ideas I had in my head. Hey, I hear this Rose piano, or I hear a classic piano, and now I can say, I want this, and this, and he can execute it. And so when I say, hey, I want samples of myself throughout the whole album, and I want all the songs connected, he literally was able to do it. And this is the first time I was able to do a project from complete scratch, rather than reaching out to a producer. Hey, I want to write to this. This is the first time I was able to produce, or compose rather, my music. And
so
it took longer. Right, it took longer, but
it's way better.
It made it.
Have that control.
Man, yeah.
That's really, really dope.
Yeah.
I mean, I have not heard it myself, but I'm definitely. And so you said your show, like, because I wanna finish and close with, you know, what you got going on.
Yeah, so I'm working on a few different things. I'm trying to, you know, just have follow-up visuals, just trying to continue to figure out ways to keep the buzz of the album going, because I mean, people are sharing it, but I want to give them other incentives to click, you know, just see, because I know once you do, you're gonna get connected to something. It may not be everything, but you're gonna get connected to something, and if I can get you connected to something, then I got you. So just trying to follow up with just different ways of promoting the project. Of course, constantly working on music, still working on new music. Like, I'm trying to never not be in the studio. And then I have a show on the 30th, and that's basically presenting a lot of the new music from the album. And then just trying to figure out what the fan base will be like here in Dallas, to figure out what I want to do. I want to tour probably early next year, but I'm not really too like sold on that. Like, I want to go back overseas. I was in London in September for his wedding, and I performed there. I sang like
How was that?
I sang at an open mic, and then I did a So Far sessions in London. And I'm looking at a room full of people that don't look anything like me. They speak different languages, because it's in London, but different people came from different places to be there. And the room was like, it was crazy. I performed, and like people were just like, oh my God, I'm just like, you actually understood what I said. It was just stuff like that. It was just kind of like, I didn't know what to expect. They didn't look anything like me. This is R&B music. And again, so when the world's telling you that nobody likes R&B.
Oh yeah, that's not true. I mean, people love
especially
R&B,
especially if you go overseas. In Europe, they know, they get it. They'll still be listening to like, they'll still be listening to songs like I can't even think of anything, but like
Just some, like,
old
old
R&B songs that we probably didn't even listen to a whole lot then. They're listening to that stuff now.
Yeah. Wow.
But it's actually good. Like it's their value of music is different.
I do feel like overseas they value music more than we value it here in the States.
Because again, we're valuing numbers. We're valuing what the industry is telling us to value because they're like, well, we want a return on the investment that we're putting out. We want to make money.
It's just so money here. Money, yeah, it's not.
Right.
Like, I really feel like they appreciate the art. Because I know even with rap and hip hop, it seems like they really be still rapping. Like, they're more about the lyrics over there compared to here. We're just kind of like turning up to the beat more so, and it's ad-lib type, you know. So that's really dope. Yeah.
So I want to do more of that. I'm planning on going back to London at the top of the year for sure. So just trying to figure out, you know, like we talking about before, the new management and trying to figure out what that looks like and if that's something that, you know, so just being open to possibilities. Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. So show on November 30th at RBC, which is like around the corner. I know they can't see on the screen. I didn't even look at the camera the whole time. But that's cool. I was just, you know, we right here.
It's a conversation.
You know what I'm saying? So I forgot the camera was there. Oh.
Who?
Can you? That's you, not me. Yeah, you ain't gonna give us. Nah. Cool.
I was shooting a video all day yesterday in the cold.
Oh, it's the airplane.
Southwest. Right.
Oh, they
now they're
expensive
expensive. Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, they
Oh,
don't
they
dance
tryna
now. They
come
make
up.
money moves. But yeah, I had a shoot yesterday, and it was in the cold, and I woke up sounding like Barry White. So I really don't have. I'm trying to recover. And stuff like that. So yeah.
So I mean, I guess that's another thing. I mean, I don't know if people know, but you really be having to like train your voice and your vocals and all. I mean, I guess maybe other people do know that. Maybe it's just
I mean, too. A lot of people are lazy. I'm lazy when it comes to my voice. Like I could be so much better than I am now, but I'm better than I was.
So
but
it's like a muscle. Like you really have to kind of
it's
like
completely a
basketball,
muscle.
That's where I come
from. You got to train it. You got to take care of it. I haven't been taking care of it. You got to take care of your body for it to be taken care of as well. So it's a lot of different things, but it's not the same as like just being able to just like, at least for me, because I'm a perfectionist. So even if I did do it, it probably wouldn't be where I wanted it to be. And then I'd be like,
Okay. Okay, cool. So again, November 30th, and the album is called
The Ascension LP.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So just wanted to, where can people find that?
iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, everywhere you get music is there. You can stream it. Please stream it. You ain't gotta buy it, stream it. Sample it, whatever you need to do to invest in it.
And where can they find you on Instagram?
And
all your social media links.
Oh, well, just go to brik.com and brik.liam.com. Can't think right now. And just go to my website, and then everything is there. Social media, all the same stuff. BRIK. Nobody else's name, Brick Liam. So you'll find me.
Dope.
Okay.
Where people can find them? Oh. Well, Instagram, the most important thing.
Yeah, that's the biggest following. So.
Okay. Well. Well, where can people find you?
So, brickliam.com. Then you can find me there, or all across all social media platforms. It's the same thing. There's not any other Brick Liam. So you'll be able to find it. BRIKLIAM.
Dope. Okay. Well, this is a wrap for our interview, our second episode of Behind the Design. Be sure to follow ANL Media, that's _ANL Media, and everybody on the team, producer Jay Jones, the capital J, of course, myself, I am ANL, and of course Parker as well. We will see y'all. Bye. I don't know if that's good or not. Talk some more?
So we're just acting like we're
just act like we're talking.
I guess so. Yeah.
No. Cool.
We're still doing it. Yeah.
Oh, we're still
doing going?
Ha ha ha.
Oh, like a parting kind of situation.
A parting situation?
It was crazy.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna give him a hug.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, cool. Hey guys, this is Renee with another episode. Okay, I gotta start that over. Okay, let's do it again. What? Oh, okay, you want me to, I messed up. Okay, when do I go? Oh, shit. That you used to be in Houston. We're not gonna be able to get through this, Jeremy. What am I gonna say? That's gonna be hard.
Yeah, it is kind of difficult to cut. I gotta say a lot too.
Yeah. So start from the top.
Just to have like we were talking in the car. Just have like a regular conversation.
That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Hey everyone, this is Reneé with ANL Media. Yeah. Another. Okay. Let me do it again. Just tell me when to go again. I got it this time. All right. This is Reneé with ANL Media. Oh, am I yelling too much? Okay. So just talk regular then. Okay.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Mic check. 1 2.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Reneé in Dallas. I don't even know what I asked.
Just about management. I'm out independent.
Okay. I have bad memory, bro.
Me too.